What's going on, guys? Joe from Unleashed Strength, and I'm excited to start a new series with you where we basically sit here and talk about some various fitness topics. So today we're going to be, focused a little more towards beginners and people who are looking to kind of break into lifting or working out or trying to get into the gym and they're not really sure where to start. But I also have some information and valuable, I think, things to say for people, for really anyone, any experience and background. So definitely, pay attention and listen up if you, want to hopefully learn something. Hope I can give you something to think about. So first of all, you need to adopt an analytical mind when you get into anything new, right? I think it's the most important thing or tool rather that we can develop as people is an analytical mind, because you have to be able to receive information no matter what it is, fitness related, financial related, just like practical life in general. Be able to receive information, kind of separate the bad from the actual right stuff and be able to proceed forward, right? We hear about it in the news, right? We hear all these exaggerations on the news or narratives that aren't completely true, right? We have to figure out, let's take some time to analyze and think and get to the truth, get to the root of things. And that's how I like to approach things in lifting as well. We should approach everything in life like that, but lifting, it's important because there's so much crap in this space. There really is. Everyone's trying to sell you their get ripped quick, their new shake, their new detox, their new pill or supplement, basically using shortcuts, right? And the first thing I want to tell you is to have this analytical mind, because it's going to help you sift through the BS and try to find the truths, try to find the underlying principles that you can implement in your fitness regimen, no matter what you're trying to do, no matter what your goals are. Things like recovery and progressive overload and, keeping, tracking and good programming, all these kind of things, all these principles. When you can understand them, then you have a ton of power and all these truths kind of the industry. Then you can move forward with your own personal goals, and you're going to save a lot of time, right? Shortcuts end up costing you time in the long run. Excuse me. And as I like to say, shortcuts, the funny thing about them is that they deprive you of the very experience that is necessary to allow you to be successful in the first place. So that's what's just like interesting about the whole thing. You have this analytical mind so that you can kind of sift through the BS and get to the truths and get to the things that are actually going to help you and going to help you, move forward. The second thing I want to talk about is you have to adopt some sort of humility, a level of humility, and it's something we can all work on. But when you worry about what other people think about, you actually modify how you behave, and it's going to help affect what you do in the gym, right? If you're concerned about what people are looking at you and you're not doing very much weight on the squat bar, right? You're out there squatting and you got no weight because you're just starting out and you're working form and all these things, but you're worried about who's looking at you, who's watching you, who cares about what you have on the bar. You might put more weight on than you're supposed to be working on the program, right? Because you want to look like you're stronger than you are. Or, I can give you other examples or whatever, but the whole idea is that you have to adopt this level of humility and block out this concern that other people are watching you, right? This worrying that what are people thinking of me? People are going to think I'm vain, or people are going to think I'm weak, or people are looking at me like I'm doing something wrong or something funny or whatever it is, right? Have this humility to be able to block that out, but also be willing to learn the right way to do things and to know that, to always be looking to get better and grow. Most people at the gym are not there to look at you or to worry about what you're doing, right? And if they are, it doesn't matter. They're too worried about you. That's on them. That's their fault. That's their problem. You worry about you. You worry about getting better, about helping other people get better if you want, working out together. That's great. The community aspect of everything. But other people are not there to look at you and to worry about you. And if they are, that's on them. Don't worry about it. But most people are not there to do that. Rolling in, with those prefaces out of the way, analytical mind and humility, let's talk about the first thing I want you guys to do. And that first thing is to develop a goal, or at least figure out what you're trying to accomplish, right? Are you trying to lose fat? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to get stronger? Do all three. Are you getting ready for a triathlon? Are you getting ready for a Spartan race? Are you getting ready to run a marathon? Training for sports. A lot of people I know trying to get into lifting and working out because they're training for a specific sport, right? Or are you trying to just get stronger, or trying to have fun, just trying to try new things, whatever it is. Figure out what it is your goals are, because your training is going to look very different based on what your goals are doing. There's basic principles, kind of tenets of working out and of fitness that you're going to apply to no matter what your goals are. But if I'm training for a marathon and I'm training for a powerlifting competition, powerlifting competition, there's two different regimens, right? There's two different methods, vastly different than one another. And it's not a great idea if I'm going to be training for both. It's possible, yes, but is it super practical? Probably not. When you kind of combine various goals that are too different from each other, you're going to lose the ability to really excel in one, or at least you're not going to be able to do quite as well. There are exceptions. Obviously, there are always like, but if you do this, sure. But in general, the principle is the more focused you can be, the more successful you'll be in that area, right? Personally, I've trained for a lot of different sports. I've played basketball, trained for powerlifting and strongman, trained for soccer, trained for, what else have we played? Cross country, running, triathlons, longer distance running, and even in college I was a cheerleader, so we were practicing, training looked different for that as well. So it's just all these different sports and different goals, your training regimen is going to look different. So it's really important to define that goal. Or two, or maybe three, but don't get crazy, right? Step 2 is you need to develop some sort of program. Now, lucky for you, Google exists and the internet is incredible with its resources that it can provide. Even just bodybuilding.com alone has thousands of programs, whatever. There are so many free programs out there that you can just look up what you're trying to do, right? How to run a 6-minute mile, right? And you can find a program that's going to help you reach that goal. This is kind of like something that's tough to talk about, but when you first start out, you're going to see a progress, not quite no matter what you do, but at the same time, no matter what you do. If you put in your work, you're recovering, and you're doing movements that are specific to your goal, you're going to see progress because you're a beginner, because your body hasn't experienced that stimulus, and it's going to react well, and it's going to react quickly. You're going to see these beginner gains, as we call it, and you're going to see improvement. So don't overthink, choosing that first program. I'm an advocate for lifting in general because I think it can help you, in life in general, and also help you towards whatever kind of fitness goals you're trying to achieve, right? Strength and muscular conditioning is never a bad thing, right? It will always help you to reach whatever physical goal you're trying to achieve, as well as have great positive mental impact and carry over to a lot of different areas of your life as well. That being said, there are some really great beginner and basic programs that you should check out if you're trying to get into lifting. I really recommend starting strength. I recommend Strongless 5x5. I recommend Jim Wendler's 531 as well. Probably in that order for beginners, but all things to start getting interested. Like I talk about this analytical mind, right? Figure out, do some research, figure out some good programs for you that's going to help you meet your goals, no matter, what you're trying to achieve. In another video, I'll talk about developing your own kind of program, the basics of doing that. But for now, let's talk about, either getting a program from someone else, getting a personal trainer, finding one online, or putting together something yourself if you feel confident. Reach out, ask us for help, whatever you want to do. But you've developed some sort of program now. You have a goal, you have a program. Now comes step 3, and this is probably the hardest part, but you got to execute. You got to make it happen. And this isn't just, I have an idea of what I want to do, I'm going to try this out. No, that's not what it is. This is a commitment. I'm implementing this in my life. I'm making a commitment to do this 2, 3, 4 times a week, whatever it is. I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to make time for it. It's not going to take a back seat to your TV. It's not going to take a back seat to all these various things, even things that are important. You can figure out, you have to figure out how to balance them, right? I understand having to miss a day every once in a while, or we were stuck inside because of the snow and the ice, and we didn't want to drive all the way to the gym, so we had to cancel it today. When we canceled yesterday because we pushed it till today, now we got to move it tomorrow, so we missed a couple days. So we're like, crap, it stinks, it's frustrating. I hate that we're missing the gym today, but it happens and life goes on, right? And we can always make it up, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge deal. My point is that you have to make it work. You have to implement it in your life and not just make that thing take the back, make the gym take the back seat all the time. That's not fair for the gym, but it's not fair to you either, right? If you are serious about making these changes, serious about achieving your goals, you have to make it a priority somehow in your life, right? Obviously, you always have to balance the priorities. Where does family and God and relationships, all these things, how do they fit in your life? But where does your personal health and fitness fall into place too, right? Because this is more than just achieving your own personal goals. This is about living a better and healthier and more full life, hopefully as well. You have your goal, you have your program, you have the commitment and the execution and the determination that you're going to go forward and make it happen. Now I want you to really track what you're doing. This is a very practical tip, a very practical piece of advice. But I want you to have a little notebook, get on your phone, on your notepad, get a little tracking app, whatever it is, and start keeping your workout journal, workout diary, writing it down, keeping track of what you are doing, because it's going to be really important for you for a couple reasons. First of all, motivation. You're going to be able to look back in a few months and say, wow, that's where I started. This is where I am. This is awesome. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep progressing. Probably more importantly, it's really good for analyzing, like I talk about analytical mind, right? Analyzing what you have done and what's working, what's not. And you can be as detailed as you want here, right? You can talk about like the food you ate and how it made you feel, or you can talk about just the main sets that you did for the day and write it down and keep track of that. Whatever you want to do, but just somehow keep track so you can go back, analyze, see what's been working, where you can improve, what you can do, where you need to work on various things. And also it plays into, allowing you to modify your program, right? Especially if you've made up your own program. It allows you to kind of analyze, fix it, and see where you're going wrong, and allows you to kind of build off that. So always track your workouts. It's really important you make it a habit so that you're going to really reap the rewards and see the benefits of that as well. Two more things I want to leave you with. One, recovery. It's so important, and I am pretty bad at it myself, but when I talk about recovery, I'm mainly talking about sleeping and eating. There are other various aspects that we can talk about, but those two components I would argue, are the most important, right? Some people kind of beat like mobility work to death and stretching and all these things, which have their place in certain areas and certain uses in certain cases, but for the most part, sleeping and eating are going to be, the two most vital things you can really focus on. If you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to get bigger, trying to build muscle, you need to be eating a ton more than you think. I'm sometimes bad about doing that. So I'll overeat in like one meal, I'll have like a massive meal, kill it, it's great, and then I won't eat as much throughout the rest of the day. And then I'm like, well, why aren't I gaining weight? Why aren't I getting bigger? It's because I'm not being consistent throughout the day and not getting my calories in throughout the rest of that day. If you're trying to lose weight, right, make sure you're getting enough, proteins, enough healthy fats, that kind of stuff, and then try to figure out your calorie needs so that you can eat less than that and try to lose some of that weight. And sleeping, just in general, is going to help you in everything, right? Help you be mentally clear, help your body physically repair, help you with your your central nervous system, help you with your metabolism, all this kind of stuff. Sleeping is just so important, help balance out your hormones, all these things. So really make sure you're getting your sleeping and your eating in properly. And moving on to the last step. I said earlier that maybe 3, and talking about execution was that was the hardest part. This might be worse. Being patient for the long run, right? You're in this for the long term. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say. Gary Vee says macro patience, micro speed, right? You have to know that you're doing this for months, for years, moving forward, right? And having a bad day, you're going to get over it, and it's not going to be a very big deal in the grand scheme of things, right? What really matters is being consistent, is recovering well, is sticking to your program, right? It's really easy, like don't program hop, right? You can't just say, I'm not getting immediate results, I'm not seeing what I want to see right away within a month, I need to try a new program, right? You need to give your program time to work. You can't just get bored of it. You can't just be ready to try something new every time you kind of get bored, every time it gets a little more difficult. Be patient, get it in your head that you're in this for the long run, and once you kind of get past that, it's going to make everything else better. Again, talking about that, how humility, having that sense of humility allows you to work out right, allows you to do the right things. Same with this thing. If you have this long-term mentality, you're going to feel better about knowing that, hey, I'm still injured, I shouldn't work out today because I need to let this heal, right? Even though you're ready to kill it in the gym, you want to work out really hard, you want to, destroy the weights, but you know that if you work out, you might hurt yourself. If you think about, wait a minute, I'm in this for the long term, you're gonna feel much better about saying, all right, I need to rest, I need to recover, I need to wait till I'm better. And the same kind of thing though when you're having rough times, when you don't really like going to the gym, you don't really do it, you don't really like, getting in there and working hard, you're not seeing results, these kind of things, and you're just really frustrated. Having that long game mentality, again, can really help you push through those harder times and saying, what is in this for me for the long run, right? I'm doing this for a better life, for a healthier version of myself, right? A person that's going to, live longer and live stronger and be able to care for other people, be there for other people, live more fully with others, right? All these things, this is a long-term game. This is a long-term effect. And it helps you push through those really hard times. Like, why are you doing this? Like, picture your goals, picture what you're trying to accomplish. Think of all the positive effects it's going to have on your life, and then how you can positively affect other people's lives, through this hard work that you're putting in. Those are my tips. I hope you like them. If you're just getting started at the gym or in fitness or pursuing some sort of new goal, congratulations. I'm super excited for you to join us and to join this amazing community. The fitness industry, like I said earlier, it's full of crap. There's so much bad in it, but there's also so much good in it. There's so many amazing people, so much amazing knowledge and information, and there's just so many benefits to you becoming a healthier and stronger person. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys take something away from this. And if you have any questions or comments, concerns, corrections, whatever it is, drop them down below, shoot us a message. We're happy to try to help you however we can. And let us know what you guys want us to talk about next time as well. We'll see what we can do. So that's all. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.